Um, so that's a bunch of great stuff there. One last thing we're going to look at for finding slopes here. I'm going to break this video up, I think, into a couple pieces. I think I said I was going to make 2 videos, but I'm going to make 3. So we'll just stick with lines here. Here, if you have a slope and a point, and you want to find the equation of a line, we have this point here, 2, 3, and we have this slope here. So, for example, I might have that I go through this point, 2, 3, and I have a slope like this, and maybe I don't know this, or maybe I can't see this. Okay, you can sketch it real quick, but then if you start doing the over and under and all that, you might try to find out what the y-intercept is. But let's say it might not even be a whole number; it might be a fraction, right? And if we only have this info and we're not graphing it, we can still find the equation. What we have to do is a little bit of math, though. And you set it up like y equals mx plus b, and then you sub in what you know. So in the first part here, we know that in this question here that the slope is 4. So you put the 4 in for the m, and then I have y equals 4x plus b. But I don't know what b is. So what I do is I sub in the coordinates of the point into here and solve for b. It's a little different, a little cool though. Okay, so I'm actually even gonna, it's so cool that I'm gonna bring out the green marker, and I have 2 and 3 as my coordinates. So I go through the point 2 and 3, and this becomes a 3, this becomes a 2, because that's your y and your x, you sub them in, and then that equals 3 equals 4 times 2 plus b, 3 equals 8 plus b, and this is where we're talking about the powerfulness, I don't know, the power of the equal sign. This is equal, which makes it true, so we can mess around with this and bring this 8 over here and make this negative 5. 3 minus 8 is negative 5, and there's your b. So once you find b, you go back and you say, well, I know my m was 4, my b is minus 5, and I go from there. Okay. So another example here, let me just show you this one here. Another example, you sub in, you know what the slope is 3, and then it goes through this point, you sub those in here, 5 goes, negative 5 goes here, 2 goes there, and then you solve for b to get minus 11. Okay, you might, sorry, and there's another one like that here, so I got ahead of myself. You might get a tricky question like this. I'm going to go back to the pink or purple. Where you go, it has an x-intercept of minus 2 and slope of 4, and you say, wait a second, I don't know enough here. If I knew the y-intercept, I could just go ahead and jam that in. But I have an x-intercept of minus 2 and a slope of 4, which means that I know that it goes through the point. If the x-intercept is minus 2, I think I messed this up actually. That means that, yeah, that's wrong. That means that I have this point here. Sorry, this point here is minus 2, and that's the point, no, that's right, 0 minus 2. So what I have here is my, no, sorry. My x-intercept is minus 2. I was right in the first place. X-intercept is minus 2. It's over here. I did make a mistake. Let's start again. I have an x-intercept of minus 2 and a slope of 4. Oh, that's interesting. Well, what's that mean? Well, if I have an x-intercept of minus 2, I'm over here, which makes this the point minus 2, 0. Remember that your y value is 0 always for your x-intercept, so I messed that up there. So that's minus 2, 0 is the point, and I have a slope of 4. So I go ahead and I say y equals 4x plus b, because I go y equals mx plus b, and I know that m is 4. Then I sub in, this is x, this is y is 0, x is minus 2. Okay, so bear with me here for a second. So that's 0 and minus 2. That's going to be 0 minus 8 plus b. 0 equals minus 8 plus b. When I bring that minus 8 over, I end up with plus 8 equals b, and my equation then becomes y equals 4x plus 8. Okay, so that would be, then I would have a y-intercept of 8, and I could do a little checking here and say, is this right? Would this make sense? Well, if I go over 1, up 4 with my slope, then that means that my next point will be negative 1, 4, right? Because I went over 1, up 4. And then if I go again from negative 1 to 0 and up 4, I end up at 8. And lo and behold, that's what I want. Okay, so don't make the mistake I did. But anyway, mistakes happen. Here, the only other question I'm going to do right now, real quick, and I won't even get into it too much, is when sometimes I give you questions when we talk about get the equation of a line that's parallel to this or perpendicular to this. So you can do the same thing. All we need to know is what is m in these questions, okay? And parallel lines have the same m, so you're just going to use that as your m, okay? Perpendicular lines, you're going to have to use the negative reciprocal. So if it passes through the origin, which is a fancy way of saying passes through the point 0, 0, that actually looks like a face with a nose, but 0, 0, and that's the slope that's perpendicular to the line we want, then you got to flip that and make it negative. Okie dokie. That's it. I'm going to cut it, call it quits here. And then we're going to move on to these questions after. Just because this video is getting a bit long. Okay, so it's not really the most natural, organic place to call it quits, but let's find out. I'll leave you with this. What happens if you don't have the slope? You probably already know because you're bright kids. Okay, take care.